are listening to the most original talk radio station anywhere. We are LA Talk Radio at latalkradio.com.
You're listening to Oscar's Guitar Shop with Oscar Jordan, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Salutations. Hey, we're here. How y'all doing? Welcome. Hey, welcome. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of Oscar's Guitar Shop. I'm Vintage Guitar Magazine contributing writer Oscar Jordan, and I am burdened with glorious purpose. Yes, indeedy. I'm here for you. Welcome to the Sausage Fest, ladies and gentlemen. The ladies are out shoe shopping, so it's just us. I would like to thank my wonderful sponsors who've stuck by me in these harsh economic times, particularly the great Ken Daniels at True Tone Music, and also Hillary and Mark over at Music Connection Magazine. Thank you. I love you as human beings. Not in a homosexual way, but I love you as a man could love another human. I'd also like to give a shout out to Tone Concepts. Jim Campolongo and Johnny Marr cannot be wrong. Visit them at toneconcepts.com and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'd also like to thank you, that's you, look in the mirror, I'm talking to you, my faithful listeners. I'm really grateful that you guys stuck by and you're listening to the show and you're subscribing and you're clicking like and you're doing all the cool stuff that you do on the internet. I think you're cool. I think you are the cat's pajamas. Give yourself a hand. Yes, applaud yourself because you're very handsome. If you would like to help support Oscar's Guitar Shop, go to oscarsguitarshop.com and click donations to the show. Share the magic inside your wallet. Oscar's Guitar Shop is powered by Tone Concepts. Find out what Billy Gibbons and Nels Klein and Alex Skolnick have on their pedal boards. Visit them at toneconcepts.com. Also, True Tone Music. Visit them at truetonemusic.com, making your music come to life. And last but not least, Mojave Ampworks. Visit the Oasis of Tone at mojaveampworks.com. Want to become a sponsor? Email me at oscarsguitarshop@gmail.com. And now, it's time. musician, guitarist, Alex Machacek began studying classical music and guitar at a very young age. Yes, he has. He studied at the Jazz Guitar Conservatory in Vienna, and he went on to study at the Berklee College of Music and has gone on to do wondrous things. Since 1999, he's been releasing one great album after the next, drawing from a myriad of influences that include Alan Holdsworth, Mahavishnu Orchestra, and Frank Zappa. Featuring ourselves, Sick, the official Triangle Sessions, Improvisation, and 24 Tales are some of the highlights. His current record now, it's called Now, is a duo recording with Gary Husband on piano and Alex on guitar. It's an inspired work with beautifully evocative harmonic complexity and moody atmosphere. I've been listening to it all week long. It's a great record. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Alex Machacek. Hey, did I pronounce your name right? Did I mess that up? Alex.
No. I've heard so many renditions of my name. That was a good one.
Well, I want to make sure that people know what the hell I'm talking about. How do you pronounce your name, sir?
Well, one of the commonly asked questions, Machacek.
Machacek.
Yeah, and that's why I put on my website. I have, under frequently asked questions, I have a sample so people can just click on that and they can hear me pronounce it correctly.
Machacek.
Machacek.
Okay, I'm going to write this out phonetically. Machacek. There we go.
Yeah, cool.
You know what? Actually, believe it or not, I actually wrote this out phonetically correct. But
good.
But now you've told me the true deal. So, and I should have gone to your website and actually had you sound it out for me so I could say it correctly. But people in Radio Land, you too can go to his website, Machacek, and he will teach you how to pronounce his name, which is great. Welcome to the show, man.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's so great. I've been a fan for a long, long time. I picked up a bunch of your CDs some years ago, and I've been just fan ever since. And I'm just so happy to have you on here. How have you been?
I can't complain. I'm doing really well. Thanks for getting my stuff. Thanks for liking my stuff, for listening to my stuff. I feel honored. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been digging on you for a long, long time, Machacek.
Oh. So it was you. You were the one.
That was me. Actually, it was really cool because I had been listening to Improvisation. That's like my favorite, I think, that record.
Uh-huh.
And then I remember walking into Baked Potato for some reason. Why anyone would go there, I don't know. But I walked into the Baked Potato, and there you are with Virgil Donati just playing the shit out of some really cool tunes. And actually I remember the song you were working out was Alien Hip Hop, one of his tunes.
Yeah.
And
one of the rather hard ones.
I know. I was like, and you were like, you were reading it and you were looking for cues, and it was just really cool hearing you work that out with him. I just thought, wow, that's the dude, that's the guy. I got his CDs, very cool.
Yeah, I remember the times when I played with Virgil, and I remember the beginning. He sent me first. He asked me if I wanted to play with him, and I said, "Yeah, of course, great." And then he said, "Well, I will send you some music." So he sent me a recording, an MP3. I listened to it. I said, "Great, love it." And then he also sent the written music, and then I thought, "Is this the right score?" Because everything I heard it rhythmically differently. So I tried to read along, and I thought, "Man, it took me hours and hours and hours to rehear it, because it was just one of his rhythmical illusions, and I kind of fell for it. So I had to relearn that in my head. Anyway, tough song, but really good song, I believe.
I totally, you're the first person to me that I've ever talked to about that song where you're admitting that there's some kind of illusion going on. Because
the whole thing. Yeah.
I asked him. I go, Virgil, what's the time signature of that song? He goes, oh, it's in 4. And I just kind of like shut up.
4/4.
But I just like shut up after that because I'm like, I'm not hearing 4. It sounds like all this other stuff going on, but I'm just not going to show I'm not going to show my ignorance, you know what I mean? Because it sounds, there's an illusion. There's an illusion, you know? Yeah, that's a great tune.
There's definitely some illusion. And that's what Virgil is really, amongst many other things, but that's what Virgil is really good at reinterpreting, something, regular 4/4 bar, but he makes it sound like everything but the 4/4 bar, but it's still in 4.
I know.
And he's right, and he's sticking to that, and it's great. Yeah. Very challenging.
Well, let's talk about you for a second. You've been just running around the world playing music and great stuff, and I really didn't get it when I first bought your CDs, but like later on, reading your interviews and seeing your later stuff, there's this strong Zappa influence in your music. And obviously, you've been listening to Zappa. But is it because of the marimba, or is it just because of the note selection and the time, or what? How do you incorporate that?
I believe, number one, if you have any kind of mallet instrument that's playing any melody in unison, people will refer to it as Zappa-ish, Zappa influence. Rightfully so, because that was one of the trademarks in his music. Then, of course, I'm completely admitting at the beginning when I was a young boy, I listened to Zappa quite a bit. And what's the first thing you want to do is you want to emulate that. So then you come up writing stuff. And then at a later point, I thought I even had a band in Austria with a mallet player. So it was guitar, bass, drums, and mallets. And then after a while, I thought, I have to drop the mallets because everyone just says it's Zappa. But at a certain point, you just, yes, it's coming from Zappa, but you don't want to be constantly compared to Zappa. I don't know. So then I dropped the mallet. Occasionally, I just can't resist, and I put the marimba somewhere, and I try to hide it a little bit, just because I love the sound so much. It's a beautiful instrument.
Yeah, it's a great sound. How do you translate that to improvisation on guitar? I know you've got a background in jazz and classical. How does that help you to be more creative as a composer?
Well, just listening to everything but guitar is already, I think, the first step into the right direction. I also have to admit I wasn't the biggest fan of Frank Zappa's guitar playing in the beginning, because his playing was just so different, and I was listening more for the compositions, more for the overall impact. And after a while, it grew on me, and I really like it. But just listening to what the other instruments are doing, orchestration-wise, who is doing what. And I remember, back in the day when we still had cassettes. Yes, I'm that old. I used to have a Walkman, it was called. I just had a couple of cassettes, and I listened to them over and over and over and over again. And then I listened only to certain instruments. So, for instance, what's the bass actually doing on that record or on that song? I could call it selective listening or whatever. So that really helps you getting ideas that are not so guitaristic per se.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you can steal great ideas from. If you're a guitar player and you steal ideas from a piano player, awesome. Yeah, people will go, "Wow, what are you playing?" Well, I'm just playing something every piano player is playing. Not that I can do that, by the way. Just for everyone who's listening, I can't do that. I'm just trying.
Right. Yeah, I teach as well, and that's what I tell my students is listen to other things, because there's something about the note selection on a different instrument that's going to just sound so much nicer on a guitar, especially horn instruments.
Absolutely. I didn't even mention the horns because the horns were mentioned all the time by certain people. And I think nowadays we're listening to guitar players who already are horn influenced, which is kind of interesting. So we can actually skip the horn listening part. I'm kidding.
True that. Hey, I would like to play some more music because I love your stuff. This track I'm going to play is from your album Sick. It's called Out of Pappenheim, and
okay.
I'm a big fan of this tune. And I'm going to play the track. I'm going to do a commercial, and I'm going to come right back, and we're going to talk about Alex, the early years. check this out.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
Holy smokes. Holy smokes. That was intense. Brain is altered. Your guitar tone can mean the difference between divine inspiration and boring twaddle. Tone Concepts makes guitar products for the discriminating artist. The Distillery guitar pedal was designed for the tone sculptor. Created in collaboration with some of the greatest guitarists in the world, the Distillery allows you to shape your tone with your own rig or through any rented backline. It gives you up to 20 dBs of flexible, transparent power or awesome tonal goodness. Whatever rig you're using, the Distillery gives you the option of a clean boost along with a sophisticated tone shaping circuit. It bulks up thin tones or adds beautiful, clarifying resonance to thicker sounds. The Distillery is endorsed by some of the world's greatest guitar players: Nels Cline, Alex Skolnick, Steve Lukather, Billy Gibbons, Vince Gill, Dweezil Zappa, and Jim Campolongo. They have fallen in love with this pedal, and so will you. Hear it for yourself. Check out the Distillery at toneconcepts.com. You're going to love it. It is awesome. Yes, you will get a boner after you use this pedal. I swear to God, you will get a boner. And if you're a woman, you'll get something else, but not a boner. Hey, Alex, that was a great track.
Hey, thank you.
That was very cool. Hey, I wanted to ask you, I wanted to go back in time with you because I was reading your bio, and you started on classical guitar, and then you moved you moved to jazz. What was that transition like for you?
Well, it was an easy transition because I didn't, when I started playing guitar or taking lessons, I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do. I just wanted to play, and B, I didn't have a choice. There were no, I don't know, there wasn't anything else but classical here. So I went to a so-called music school where you have your, I don't know, one lesson a week, and after a couple of years you also had to attend theory lessons and a choir. So it's a state-funded school, and I went there and was of course excited playing the instrument. But then after a while I figured out, well, that whole classical thing is not for me. And I got interested in, like everyone else, in whatever was on the radio, whatever was available, some rock guitar here and there. And then later on, I heard something, I had certain key moments, like hearing Joe Pass or other guitar players, and people told me that's jazz. And I thought, oh, that sounds very appealing to me. So I just thought I was just looking for, private lessons, guitar teacher who could teach me that, and that's when I dropped the classical guitar because I wasn't good at it in any way.
Yeah, I know.
I actually stopped.
I know that. That's hard. That's a tough gig, the classical world. So you basically went into jazz thinking about Joe Pass a lot and trying to get that idea of jazz. That's kind of
after a while, yeah,
he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a genius, that Joe Pass, something else.
Absolutely.
And then how did you evolve into other areas after Joe Pass once you started studying jazz?
Well, as soon as you kind of dive into that, then obviously you get more interested. You meet more people. People give you musical recommendations. Well, you should check out, and here goes the list. Yeah, and then, or you are at their house and they play you music. And then I got interested in Mike Stern, Schofield, Pat Metheny, John Abercrombie, all of those typical usual suspects. Then I had a little bit of a rock phase where I listened more to Paul Gilbert and Steve Vai and whatever. I mean, I don't know, that just had to happen. And then later on, then Holdsworth, of course, Zappa, and so on and so forth. It just, I don't know. I mean, after a while, you just get, you're into one musical style, and then you might get a little bit more curious about other possibilities, and you hear something that's appealing, and it's just appealing to you, so you don't question that, and you listen to that more to that.
Yeah. Did you ever, in that time period, did you ever go through a purist phase, or were you into like everything?
Like it's not sorry, the connection broke up a little bit.
I was saying that while you were studying jazz, was there a time when you went through like a purist phase, or were you listening?
Oh, I never had a purist phase. I was surrounded by some purists, and I actually always disliked their attitude. You know, I distinctly remember there was one weekend session at a friend's house, and one piano player told me, you know, you have to study 10 years of Monk, 10 years of Miles, 10 years of Mingus, 10 years, and the list went on, and I said, well, dude, once I'm finished with your assignment here, I'm 90 years old, and that's when I'm supposed to do my own music, and yeah, so that didn't do it for me. I totally respect that kind of music, but I wouldn't. For personally, I wouldn't try to just be a purist and just regurgitate something that's been there already, and it's been done better at the beginning. So I just don't see why we have to. Yeah, I think regurgitate is the right word for that.
Yeah, well, you know, there's already a Charlie Parker, and he was quite good, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he was a good talent, right? I think he was onto something.
He had something going on. He had a little light bulb that went off, and he did well with what he had, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. It's kind of, I actually recommend to anyone who's a little bit, or who might consider himself a purist, just read the last chapter of Miles Davis' biography, because that says it all. Yeah,
it's true. It's true. Well, I want to really get into your new album because I'm really digging it. It's just this thing of you and a piano player and a guitar, and that's just really intriguing. I'm hearing more space than usual on the other recordings. By the way, the album is called Now, and it's so intimate. It's so intimate and very evocative, and it's like two human beings just psychically engaging. Let me play the track just so I'll shut up for a second. Okay. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna do a little commercial, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna get in deep on how the hell you got to play solo guitar with a piano player, and that's all. Hang on tight. We'll be right back. This tune is called Gagia.
Okay.
Ich glaube nicht, dass es an mir liegt. Vanessa, ist hier scheiße? Jetzt wieder.
Yeah.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Wow. I don't know how he did it, but they played that tune. That was great. True Tone Music, as you know, you already know this is a virtual candy store for guitarists and bass players. They're world famous for having the best selection of new and used and vintage guitars in the Los Angeles area. Located at 714 Santa Monica Boulevard in the city of Santa Monica, True Tone Music offers the widest selection of exceptionally high-quality guitars and basses. They stock name brands like Fender, Gibson, Epiphone, Gretsch, and much, much more. Check out their wide selection of Martin acoustic guitars. Martin is the leading manufacturer of steel string flat top acoustics, and they're synonymous with handcrafted excellence. True Tone Music is where the top names in the music industry shop for guitars, basses, amps, and boutique pedals. They'll also match any online price and back it up with top-notch customer service and support. Visit them online at truetonemusic.com or call 310-393-8232. That's 310-310-393-8232. Ask for Ken. Tell him Oscar said hey, and then get some free stuff or pay $3,000 for guitar or less, get a discount. Tell him Oscar sent you, he'll do you right. Yes. Hey, Alex. Is that you?
Yes. That's me.
That's you. Well, hey, man, I really enjoyed that. The new record sounds
Thank you.
great. It's so intimate. It's
Well, that was the plan.
It's like you're naked in terms of like there's no band behind you. It's just you and him interacting and doing your thing. It's awesome.
Yeah. And I guess it's my first record where I have not one distorted guitar tone on it,
True.
which actually I'm proud of
Yeah.
because no cover-up, absolutely naked, unprotected.
Unprotected. What guitar did you use on that recording, that particular track?
I'm always using the same guitar since a couple of years. It's a Build Lab custom-made guitar. There is no model name. A friend of mine gave it to me. I got really lucky. It's headless, 25 frets, 2 humbuckers. Don't ask me about the wood. It's hollow body, and the body shape looks like a reminiscent of an SG, I suppose.
Right. Is that the one that
that's it.
without the headstock?
Yep, that's it.
There's
yeah.
a bunch of photos of you, and you have the headless guitar. That's the one. Is that the red one?
The red one, yeah.
Yeah, that is an interesting, sweet-looking axe, and you get some great tones out of it as well.
Yep.
And so what kind of amp did you obviously you went totally clean for this as opposed to dirty, and it's a very jazzy tone. What kind of amp are you using with that guitar?
No amp. It's the XFX.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is there an Alex preset that we can look for?
No, I don't think so.
Wow, that's cool.
I have to look up my preset and then I can maybe post it or something. I don't know. It's just one of those cool clean amps and a little bit of compression in front of it. Might be the compressor that I bought from True Tone Music, by the way.
Very cool. Ken will.
No, it's a great shop. It's a great shop, and
a-
I'm always afraid of going in there because I first have to do, to check my balance on my account because otherwise I'll buy the entire store.
Do not be afraid because Ken will take care of you.
No, I know. I'm not too afraid, but I have to be a little bit cautious with myself.
Well, every time I go in, Ken holds my hand and we just take a little tour around the store. He says, "It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Look, check it out what I got."
Yeah, well, yeah, you need that. There's other ways.
So that's really cool. How did you've known Gary Husband for a long time now, haven't you?
Well, I met him at the NAMM show a couple of years ago. I was playing there with who did I play with? Marco Miniman and a bass player. The name will come to my. I just forgot the bass player's name. Actually, it was his gig. How embarrassing. Anyway, so we played there at the Bass Bash, and Gary was there. And after that, we had a couple of drinks and got to know each other. And I complimented him a lot on his solo album, on his solo piano album, The Things You See, interpretations of Holdsworth's music. And most people only know Gary as a drummer from the Holdsworth records or from other bands. And I was pretty surprised when I heard the record that he's such a fabulous piano player. So I complimented him, and then later on, it just happened that we played together at the Abstract Logic Festival. And then a year after that, we played a European tour where I'm playing in the band UK, and he helped out for those dates. So we played a short European leg of that tour. And then later on, Shubik from Abstract Logic, it was actually his idea. He said, "You should do a duo record with Gary on piano." And I said, well, let me think. Okay, yeah. I already thought, yes, I want to do that. Because I just really love Gary as a human being and as a musician. And his piano playing, to me, is just outstanding. And I thought, what a treat. So let's do that.
Very
and then, of course, at the beginning, guitar and piano is rather unprecedented, and there are some, but not too many. So I was a little bit scared, okay, how are we going to do an entire record? But then Gary sent me his songs, and I already wrote some, and it just came all together pretty naturally or organically. So it was a pleasure. We recorded 3 days, just worked like madman in a beautiful studio, Miraverse. That's in North Carolina. It's just a state-of-the-art studio with a huge grand piano and just everything you can ask for. So the perfect working environment. And we just kept working for 3 days like crazy.
Wow. That sounds really cool. So my next question was you pretty much already answered, but it was the idea that those tunes are pretty complex, and so he basically, was it 50-50 in terms of the writing that you brought together? Was there anything created on the spot?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, 50-50. I think Gary has even one tune. There are 9 tunes on the record. I only wrote 4, and he wrote 5, so it's almost 50-50. And the tunes are actually not that complex. Some of the complex stuff that you hear is just the interaction that's going on. So if you would see it on a lead sheet, it's not that terrifying or anything. But it's just, we kind of try to keep it alive while soloing.
Mm. Well, I'm thinking about the unison stuff, that where he's playing longer lines and you have to follow him with that. That's the stuff that I'm going.
Yeah, or the other way around, because that was my tune. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, that would be tough if and that takes a lot of rehearsal. And so was that?
There was no rehearsal.
No rehearsal. Wow.
Well, we rehearsed everything. We didn't have time. Gary was on tour with John McLaughlin just right before our recording, so we didn't have any time to rehearse. So we went in, practiced. We practiced at home. We sent each other the stuff. We practiced a little bit. And then we went into the studio, rehearsed a song, and recorded it. And then once we were done, next, and that was the procedure.
Wow! So that's where.
Unfortunately, we didn't have time to rehearse extensively. Well, next time we will.
Well, that's it. Just locks in the freshness, right? Because that's what it is. I mean, you guys are fresh. You're not sick of those tunes. You're just, it's like what you see is what you get, and it's fresh.
You're just happy if you can play them.
Yeah,
the hacks, and then for the soloing, you just do your thing. Gary does his thing, I do my thing, and we just try to make music together, and that was the ultimate goal.
Yeah. And
because you mentioned there's more space. Well, that was also one of my goals, because on some of my previous records there's one thing missing, which is called space, and I thought, well, I'm getting older, so maybe I already have played plenty of notes, so how about leaving more space?
Yeah, I know it's very important to leave space. Going back to Miles Davis,
Yeah, exactly.
The man who loved space.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I really dig it. It's I've been wearing out the record, and it's so evocative. It's moody as well, and I think you guys did a great job.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And obviously, we hope that we will for next year. It's already in planning that we will play actually live dates, because that's something that has to be done.
And I suppose then you'll get to rehearse.
I really hope so.
I do too.
Because that would be kind of unfair towards the audience if we show up unrehearsed and kind of look, hey, hang on, well, let's try it again.
Yeah. Gary goes, now what are we doing here? Why are we here?
I think a band should be... Huh?
Gary will say, what are we doing here? Why are we here?
Exactly. Which instrument? Oh, damn, you wanted me for piano. Oh, no way. No, I brought my drum set. No, we will definitely rehearse.
Yes, well, I certainly hope so.
Yep.
In addition to the record, which I hope that people will go out and get at Alex Machacek, .com.
No, you were right the first time.
Okay. Go to that website, and you can see all the stuff there that he's got. He's got some great albums and all types of goodies up there. But you also have this instructional pentatonic DVD that's out. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, that was a long time ago. I did that for Lick Library.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I picked a topic where I thought people of many playing levels could actually get something out of that. Because let's face it, I think almost every guitar player on this planet plays a pentatonic scale sooner or later. It doesn't take us long to figure that out, and there are so many more applications. So I thought, well, let's put a little bit of emphasis on that. It's not a new topic; many people already did it, but to me, it was just something that I thought could be done again. I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying it's not new because I got some nasty YouTube comments or somewhere. Yeah, it's not new. Yeah, sure, it's not new. By the way, I played the note C. I'm not the first one.
Yeah, there you go. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I'm very grateful. Thank you for coming on. It's been great. You're welcome to come on my show anytime and promote anything you got, because I'm a big fan.
Thanks so much, Oscar, and thanks for keeping music alive. You're doing a terrific job.
I'm doing what I can do, man. Thank you very much. I'm going to play a little bit of music. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Well, that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank our guest, Alex Machacek. God, I'm screwing that up again. Set mind to purpose and visit him at Alex Machacek. Machacek.com. Go forth and purchase every piece of music he has ever written. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, True Tone Music and Tone Concepts. Visit them at toneconcepts.com. Visit them at truetonemusic.com. Go to Tone Concepts. Check out that distillery pedal. I'm serious. Also, Mojave Ampworks. Visit the Oasis of Tone at mojaveampworks.com. Want to become a sponsor? Email me at oscarsguitarshop@gmail.com. Tune in next week when our guest will be former Jackson's guitarist and bluesman Greg Wright. Take care of yourselves. Be nice to each other. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.